No, actually, I tried to do. I went out and did my 6 miles a day, and I went to the Capitol, and I couldn't get on. It wouldn't let me stream. I thought sometimes that happens when I'm out exercising and trying to do stream to talk to you guys. And but then I'll go somewhere else, like off the mall or something like that, and it usually lets me go on. But it didn't. I think it's cybersecurity robots. I mean, now the whole downtown. That's why I want to show you. They're really putting up boards on every glass window, are all boarded up, I guess, for the election or what's going to happen there. I mean, I don't know. It's a little mystery to me, but it's real, and that's what's happening, and it's going to happen more probably. But who knows? So I guess it's safer to stay home anyway. But it's nice. I mean, Washington is pretty, desolate. There's hardly anybody around anywhere in Washington. But it's been like that for a long time, because these office buildings, nobody's going. Everybody's working at home. And it's more crowded at night than it is during the day. We got to get that COVID out there. So they do that at night instead of during the day. I see Cobb, nothing major in San Diego, North Country on election day. Yeah, I see that. I guess we're all waiting, and it may take more than a day to find out what's going on. But no matter who wins, tonight or tomorrow or next week or next month or even next year, it's like when I was driving ships in the Navy, it was like, the course correction. You're not going to notice if you change, like if you're driving in aircraft carrier out in the South China Seas, and that's where I was ship driving out in South China Seas. Man, that aircraft carrier, if you move 1 degree or 2 degrees to the left or to the right, I mean, there's nothing out there for tens of thousands of miles. So nobody notices until you run into land somewhere or you find a gas station to find out where the hell you are. And it's the same with big organizations or our country. I mean, like when what's his name? Donald Trump came in. I mean, sure, a lot of things changed, but basically the programs more or less stayed the same. I mean, they nibble around the edges who's there, and they start new ones. They get rid of some, but 80, 90% is still the same. So that's why no matter who wins, the existing programs are going to be still there, and you're still going to have a stimulus package sometime. But until then, here's what I want to cover today is what to do when you can't find a COVID grant. So many people, and Let's Go Help, I get people, well, they don't have any in Idaho or no, I looked everywhere. Well, I mean, that may or may not be true. So I got a list together of the kinds of things, what you have to do if you believe that you've looked everywhere and you don't think there's anything there for you. I'm going to sneeze. Sneeze those glasses right off my head. That's a hell of a sneeze. Let me get a tissue. So what you got to figure out is, and you have to do it scientifically. I mean, I don't mean like getting a slide rule out and all that kind of stuff, but have a procedure so you make sure you've done all that. Now, again, I'm going to put those 3 videos that I have for how to find these things, and I'll put them in the description right after the live thing is over, so you'll see them there. If you're not a member, if you're a member, it's all free to members. So go on to the Facebook group on Facebook, and you get even more detailed there. And then that's what it's all for me to help people one-on-one there. I'm sorry I can't help everybody one-on-one for free. And so I do it there, and then just try to share as much as I can here on YouTube so people understand and get you started to learn about this stuff. Okay, here's what you have to do first. Okay, in one of the videos that will be in the description, in about within the hour, are 6 offices you have to check. And so you have to check those 6 offices, because the 6 offices that I tell you about are the offices in the government that are there to help you solve your financial problems. See, what we have in the government, we give money for all kinds of things, all kinds of problems nobody knows about. We start stuff. And, I mean, there used to be grants for beekeepers. And one of the famous broadcasters had a beekeeping farm somewhere and got lots of grants for that. And so people don't even remember that they're or do them or anything. So that's why I see when you're looking for COVID stuff, well, that's a trap, because there's more than that. COVID, when it first came out, like the $2 trillion, they were already giving out $2 trillion. So you have to find out about the other 2 trillion too, in addition to the COVID. And what is now in the COVID is there's still hundreds of billions of dollars they're still giving out. Excuse me. And so you have to find that. How do you find it? Because by now that Google is more trouble than it's worth sometimes, but it's the only game in town. So you got to use it. But you don't at this point. If you're looking and you don't think you got a grant, what you do is you call those 6 organizations that I have there, and they help you find out. These organizations, remember, they get paid. Their job is to help you find help for your financial problems. That's their job. Yeah, I get paid to do it, right? They get paid, but not by you. They have to help you do it. So that's their mission. That's what they have to do. So there's no other person to talk to before you do anything else except talk to those 6 offices. Okay, and I describe them in the video. So you have 6 offices to do. Okay, now the second thing you have to do is talk to them. When you contact them, we're not used to talking on phone. So you see this thing? This does a lot more than watch movies. This actually gets people to talk to, like real. Hey, Millie. When we used to, you don't know, I don't know either. They used to ring on the phone, and you talk to the operator, whatever. That's what you do, because that's the way you're going to get more help. Should we call? Yes, they're in the 6 people. Absolutely. You call them. They have people on their staff that is their job is to help you solve your financial problem. Now, there's no guarantee they will, but they'll try. The same with me. I mean, I'll tell you all these sources, no guarantee they're going to work, but they're there and they're real. And they may or may not work for you. See, that's what you have to do. So you have to get all that help first. And before you say, oh, I looked, it's all over. I mean, you won't believe what I looked. I mean, I went out and I even asked Mildred, who lives across the hall. Mildred? I mean, she's a nosy bastard, and so I figure she knows everything. And Mildred didn't know any about those programs. No, you have to go to the people whose job it is to know this stuff and talk to the horse's mouth, not your neighbor. I mean, that helps too. Anything helps. So don't quit. So you have the 6 places to talk to. You have to use the phone. Okay, now the other thing you have to do, all those 6 people, like the senators or anybody you talk to, I mean, that list is there. It's more than that. It's nonprofit organizations that are in business to do this for you. You ask them, okay, if they say, we just ran out of money Tuesday, call back later, or we may get some more in November, all kinds of things. You ask them, well, are you going to get more? What else? Things like that. And here's the important question. You don't hang up that phone until you say this. Hey, do you know anybody else that may have programs that could help me? Okay, let's try it again now. Okay, this is what you say. on the phone, and they say no, and they say, screw you, don't bother me. I got to go watch the ball game. He said, oh, wait a minute. Hey, do you know of anybody else, any other programs or whatever that may be able to help me? Okay, now, see, that's the most important thing you do when you talk to anybody about your problem. If they can't, because 9 out of 10 people probably won't be able to help you. Okay. But that one is, now how do you get another one when those 10 don't help you? You have to have more people to contact. So that's how you do that. Okay. Now the other thing, like Anonymous says that, should we call our center? Okay. Yes. Now I tell you about, if you go to commoncause.org, and people say, well, I'm not a Democrat, and Common Cause is only Common Cause is a database. Who the hell cares how they vote? When you buy a hot dog, do you care how the guy voted? No, you just want the hot dog. Some people do, but so Common Cause has this database, and you put in your zip code, and you'll get a list, L-I-S-T, lots of elected officials that are there to help you. Now, see, that's what they're doing. As an elected official, you have to help constituents. So these are all the elected officials that you are a constituent of. So they need your vote to stay in business, and you just voted for them. So they may be out of business if you call them in the morning. You never know. But what happens, they'll still have the same phone number of the new person. They never want to lose that. Sad part is most people don't even know how to do their job now. Yes, but that's for everything. My mechanic's that way too. We're all guessing, but this is reality. So how are you going to use what's there? You get a pissed off and you say you never call them, fine, and you never get money, you never do anything, you never get a job, you never and that's a way to live. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Man, I'm struggling every day too. I don't know what the hell to do. But okay, so you get that list of all the elected officials. There'll be a dozen or more. You start at the top, and that's why people call one or two, and that's it. No. My father said, go to rehab, baby. I said, no. You go down that list, and keep calling those suckers. And because, you don't want to call people off the street that have maybe they have sympathy for you because they're human or whatever. But no, you're calling people whose job, every one of those 6 or 7 or 12 people you call, their job is to help you solve your financial problem. You hear that? Their job. They do legislation, sort of and they pretend to, but their real job is to help you. The government. See, the government represents a third. Okay, 33% of everything in our economy is the government. So that's a source to help you. And they're in charge of that. You voted them, we voted for them, or whatever, to do that, to make sure that we use this third of society. Okay, so they're your ticket to using this third of society. So you go down that list of elected people. Okay, the other thing, here's, you could try Google. I'm not real happy with this, but sometimes you get something. I've been calling for months and they aren't doing their job. Well, you go to call some of the others. You get a list of 12 of them smoker ladies. Oh, you still smoke? And just going right. It's hit and miss all that. It's a numbers game. And so get a bigger list and get lucky. That's the only way you get lucky is you have to keep trying. See, the name of the game, what you have to do, I think anything that you're trying for the first time, is get used to banging your head against the wall. That's what usually you have to do. If you're not get prepared for that, you're living in Disneyland or somewhere, because that's what's going to happen 9 times out of 10. It may not. Some people get real lucky, but plan on the worst, because then you're surprised if it happens. So, okay, you go to Google and you put in, maybe if you're really rent, you put in one of the grants or whatever, rent grants or COVID, use the word COVID or something, who's using this. But when you search them, what you do is make sure you go down in the advanced additional requirements. When you hit a search, when you do a search, there's a tab, extended search or added things, how to adjust it. And what you want to do is show me only the ones for the last couple months. So you didn't get all that. Now, still, you're going to get a lot of crap in there. Okay. A lot of people selling you something you don't want to. So you don't want to look at anything, no matter how nime. You don't want to look at anything that doesn't end in a .org or .gov. But at least you're not looking for the whole database. So this will get it down a little bit and get rid of some of those ads, but not all of them. Now, the other thing you have to do is set up alerts. Now, one of the links I have that in the description will show you how to do that. And what this will do is show you new programs every day, okay? Every day. So you set up the Google alerts, then every day you're going to find out about new programs on that topic. And none of them, it'll be a letter looking good with the combo questions. Thanks. And what'll happen, it'll be an email you will get every morning with the headlines of those new websites. And none of them will be websites selling you anything. There may be some ads on the websites and something like that. But see, if you put in just grants or something like that, you're going to get literally hundreds of millions of websites of people who want to sell you expertise, want to sell you money, want to do all these kinds of things around that topic that you don't want at all. I want to show you, you want to find only the people who give you money, not people who take your money, okay? You don't want anything that. So you do that the best way with alerts, but that's only the new stuff. See, what we've gone through the list so far is in finding out the old stuff. See, there's twice as much COVID money in existing programs as there is in those new ones. See, so what you have to do is the old and new. It's like in a wedding, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So that's what you have to do. Okay. So you set up alerts. Okay, here's another one that I don't have on my top 6 items that you should check of people who help you solve financial problems, but is your career one-stop. This is the Department of Labor. And they're good for a lot of reasons. Number one is that they're good for unemployment, because if you don't know if you qualify, because the new unemployment, the pandemic unemployment is very complicated nowadays. And it's for even caregivers and all kinds. You don't even have to have a job, but you can have a part-time job and still get it. It is so complicated. And they're still screwed up at the state level trying to do it all. So that's right. This is an input into that. But also this Career One Stop has programs, emergency money programs, because it's set up really for workers that, hey, my car can't work. So how am I going to get to work? And they will know about those kinds of programs, or you need daycare and stuff like that. So that's a place to check into. So that's called your Career One Stop. And if you just put Google, find local career one stop. Find local career one stop, okay, and that. And I got a list. If you remember, we have a list for every state. There's like 200 programs, that they're in charge of, and I forget about those because it's really, they're there to help you get a job, and instead of solving financial problems. The other listing I gave you, showed you about that I described in the videos that will be in the description, are there to solve financial problems. And a job is a financial problem, but it's funny. Boy, I've been in this 30, 40 years. I don't know. Okay, so that's another thing, but also the Career One Stop. Okay, now let's say you've done all those things. You talked to 15 elected officials. You went to everybody. You did, and now you're waiting daily on the alerts that coming, and still know anything. Okay, you still need income. Okay, now you could wait and maybe not anything, but you got to have another game plan. And to me, the other game plan is you got to generate income. You got to get money, income. Okay. So you have, there's not a whole lot of options. You either work and get paid, or you get a gun and a mask. I think the first one is probably better. Okay. So, and see, nowadays, you don't have to get a job forever. Like every day you could, so you need $5,000 to solve a whole bunch of problems or whatever. Well, just go out and try to find a job that you could get $5,000 in the next couple of months or whatever to solve this problem. Okay. And it's easier to do now than any time, and that's, and there's two basic places I think to go. One is your career one stop again. Okay, tell them you're looking for part-time work, because now actually, they're hiring for Christmas. I mean, Amazon all over the country wants people, going to hire 100,000 people, 200,000 people just at Amazon and all. I mean, I just found out they opened a big warehouse outside of Washington, D.C. I think out where Nina lives. And they're going to hire lots of people. You see Nina putting her a kiss mark on all the packages she sends out. So if you get a package with a kiss mark on it, then that's from Nina. Okay, and so to pick up things easily, the hiring for Christmas. I mean, this is, and it's all funky stuff, And it doesn't have to be packing and shipping. I mean, it's all online. So instead of screwing around on Google for 5 hours today trying to find a grant, you could be doing something for somebody who'll pay you $15 an hour to do silly stuff on the internet and get paid for it. Yeah, and that's it. So how do you find those things? Okay. One is your career one stop. That's a good place. The other thing is in your 211.org. If you go there and you look for get a job, sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. Nobody's old enough to remember that. And they help you get any kind of job. So you're looking for a part-time job, temporary job, or whatever. Work from home job. See, work from home now is the bottom line. You go to these job places. Nobody wanted you to work from home. No, that was just weird stuff. Now everybody does. That's I don't know what we're going to do with our office space. Nobody's going back to use them. That's going to be a real interesting thing. And so that's help see what they could. And again, talk to them. Just don't. See what they have on the internet. Oh, no, that's good or bad. You don't know. I don't know. They don't even know what the hell they have. What you have to do is drag the stuff out of their head and see if it makes sense for you to shoehorn yourself into it, So that's it. Also in 211, they usually have a separate category for job training, job placement, job stuff like that. And start calling them. There'll be a listing of nonprofit organizations in your area. And call. And so call each one and say, hey, I have to earn this by then or whatever. Can you suggest how I can do this? What is? See, these are people solving that kind of problem every day. You and I are doing that once in our lives or whatever. How the hell do we know whatever? So they're handling that phone call, 100 times that day, or 10 times, or 5 even, but they've been doing it for years. So they know what works for people, doesn't work for people. They're better than asking me. I just do research. They're actually helping people like you every day. So they're going to give you better help. So that's the 211 and the job stuff, and call them up. Now, here's 2 websites. And to find out about the gig economy, this is growing. There's so much there. It's silly. And it's now becoming like a third of all the workforce now is in the gig economy. So it's the fastest growing sector of the job market is gigs. And that means it's more flexible with everything. You don't even have to dress to do this, not even for the interview. And here there are 2 websites. And we have if you remember, I have a big report that has all this stuff in it and tons of examples, but here's the best places to get started. There's a new website I just found. I think it's terrific. It's better than mine. It's called Gig Economy Jobs, plural, list.com. Let me write that in here. list. Now, it's a .com, right? But it costs you nothing because they're going to hook you up with people who are looking for temporary people. Like maybe you sit at home and you pick out, because don't forget, there's a lot of things the computer can't do. The computer's trying to do everything. So what they do is outsource jobs that the computer can't do. Pick out the pictures that are green. Somebody wants to buy a green sofa. Yeah, so they send that request over to you, so you pick out the green, and just stuff like that. Crazy stuff. You don't know what it is, or you answer the phone for somebody in home because they don't care where you are. They just transfer the call to you, and you're available these hours to do this. Or maybe you talk to Chinese students in Hong Kong in the middle of the night who want someone to speak English to, and they pay you $20 an hour to do that. All kinds of weird stuff. So that's the gig economy jobs, JOBS, list.com. And here's the other one I sort of like. And if you guys know more, let me know. Gigs done. Indeed, that's one of the big job sites now. And what's neat about Indeed is you get consumer reviews. So you're thinking about working for a gig or working for Amazon or working for anybody. You go to Indeed and you could see what ex-workers say about that. I mean, that's terrific to me. And the other one, Glassdoor, is another one like that. But their effort in the gig economy isn't as good as Indeed. Indeed has it organized very well. So you have those two websites to start getting jobs. I mean, you can start making money tomorrow. And that's another way. So you'd rather a grant for $5,000 or whatever, but so maybe you have to do something else for a couple months and get that $5,000. The point is to get the $5,000. Sure, if there's an easy way, but if you're not getting it, you can't just do nothing. I mean, you can, and people do that, and they get pissed, and everybody gets pissed at them because they're angry and because things didn't happen the way it should be. Life is happening with or without us. So it's how to use the life for your benefit and what's out there. You're not going to change it. I mean, you can, but that means advocate. It's a whole new ball game. I mean, the way. Unless you're big or whatever, and you could do stuff like that. But most of us are just little cockroaches, but living off crumbs. And that's how I say. But you know what? Cockroaches have been around for billions and billions of years. Okay. Dinosaurs are gone, right? What happened to those guys? Got too big. Got too big. It's a little cockroach that lives forever. And that's like, so you only make $1 million. What the hell? See, these fat cats are into billions, millions is chump change. They won't bother with that. And there's lots of millions and millions of millions to do. So who cares if you're in the next Google and have billions of dollars? Because then all you have, your problems become what to do with $1 billion. We don't want to do that. I don't know. To me, it sounds boring. I guess it is nice and interesting to some people, but not to me. I want to be doing something. I want to do something. Doing something with money. I mean, what are you going to do with money after a while? After you have all this food to eat and whatever. Okay. So always pursue multiple revenue streams. Sure, you can, but you got to get one first. And make sure you have something, start paying the bills. And then you just do everything. And that's what I do in business thing. Because you never know. You never know how long things are going to last or what is this way to get a hold of you. You could try, let's go freeradio@gmail.com, or if you're a Let's Go Help member, I answer every one of those questions. Every one of the new discussions I answer. So if you're a member, Let's Go Help, and if you want to know how to join that, it's $20. Okay, letsgohelp.com. I answer every discussion. That's why after I leave this, I'm going to go and answer those things right now for that. But I'll put those links in the discussion on YouTube, so you download those video links. to how to find this information where you live. It doesn't matter where you live. It's the same procedure. So it's all right there. I know I'm going to get people who give me notices that say, well, what about Toledo or something? The links tell you how to find it in Toledo or anywhere else. Okay. And yeah, no matter how much I say it in the video, still, I'll get a half a dozen of those. Well, that's fun. I know at least they're around. Okay. Well, thank you for putting up with me, guys. I'll be back I hope maybe tomorrow when I go around, I get this thing working. Oh, we'll know who's the president. Maybe tomorrow, you think? Maybe, but maybe it'd be fun watching it. Oh, I don't know if we'll watch that. Anyway. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for putting up with me. And I hope something helps here. Thank you. See you, I'm